It is finally time for the May Q&A of 2021, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's get into this. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, here's the May Q&A. I know it's very late. Had a lot that I was getting prepared for this, as you can clearly tell by the earlier videos of the day. This new mic, extremely excited for it. Because, you all deserve the best quality, and I want to deliver that to you, so setting up this mic is something that I've been really working on trying to get finished. Finally got it all set up this week, so I wanted to deliver the best quality, and I want to continue to produce the best quality for all of you. Also, another thing is, this Q&A is a very special one because, well, it's official. I've been doing the Q&A for 2 years now, and, I wanted to do something special as well as have a better quality mic. So, I want to thank all of you because if it wasn't for all of you, this Q&A would not even be possible in the first place. Nor would this channel be as big as it is. So I have to thank every single last one of you. I truly appreciate all of you, and I'm going to continue to do the best, continue to improve, and deliver the best content possible. So I want to thank all of you. I truly do appreciate it, and, it means the world to me to be able to do this stuff for all of you. So, also, if you have any questions for the Q&A for June, be sure to leave them in the comments down below or on the Discord. I do have a Discord. You can contact me there as well. I also have updates on there, so, if you want to be kept updated on whenever videos go up or any other events, that's a place to do it. Also, if you have any questions that I may have forgotten or missed in the Q&A, please let me know, and I will be sure to get them in the next Q&A. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the YouTube questions first, and then the Discord questions. First question is by Crash Bash, asking, do you still talk to Adela Ka, Jerry Freeman, Reaper, and High Power? Well, I do talk with Adela Ka every once in a while. Him and I will message each other every once in a while. So yeah, him and I still talk. And yeah, Reaper or Rudolph, yeah, I do talk to him on occasion as well. Same with Just a Fan. So, I do keep up with some of them. I don't get to talk to all of them. It's been a while since I've talked to Celtic. I haven't talked to Jerry or High Powered since the stream. Same with Mediocrity. But, it just happens. Sometimes some people get to talk, sometimes they don't. And usually it'll also be because of, people getting busy. So, that's natural. I mean, I'm busy a lot. So, it sometimes can be very hard for me to keep in contact with some people. But, I do try to keep up with some of them. And, it's good to talk to them when I do. So, some of them I do get to talk to. Plus, what is your favorite House of the Dead game? Probably the original one. I remember that back on arcade. Yes, I know, that makes me sound old. I know, it makes me realize my age. But, yeah, I liked it because, you actually got the little guns to use. That was a lot of fun. That definitely was my favorite one from back in the day, though. 100%. The original House of the Dead. Man, that makes me feel old. Yeah, good questions. Edward Armstrong asked, I finally got into Fate with the original VN after hearing you talk about Fate waifus for so long. Yes, all the Fate waifus. Which of the 3 routes is your favorite? I'm a Saba simp, so I prefer her route. That's actually a pretty interesting one. Personally, if I had to say, I would probably go with Ren's route. Now, of course, there's also Sakura's route, and then there's also Saber's route. Saber would probably be my second favorite, and Sakura would be my least favorite of the routes. But I gotta go Ren's route. Then again, who doesn't love the Tsundere waifu, am I right? But I do like me some Saber. But yeah, I personally, I like Ren's route the best. But yeah, good question, man. V-Man asks, what are your opinions on bronies or My Little Pony Friendship is Magic in general? Hope you were doing good. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hope all of you watching are doing good as well. Me personally, I've never really cared for it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. I'm just kind of indifferent, I guess you could say. Same thing with bronies. I haven't really had much interactions with bronies, so I can't really tell you. So, I'm just kind of indifferent towards them as well. I mean, I guess you could say. Hey, as long as they like My Little Pony, then more power to them. More power to them. Catholic Cox asks, Yo, Draco, enjoy your videos and hope you're doing good. Well, thank you. I hope that you and everyone else watching this are doing well also. What are your favorite Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan, and Akame ga Kill characters, Titans, and Tegus? Oh, now that is a very good question. So, when it comes to my favorite characters, Kaneki is definitely my favorite character in Tokyo Ghoul. I've always liked his design as well, like, once he, became a ghoul, like, oh god, it's so great. And then Toka as well, like, I've always loved her character. I think she is the best waifu in that series, hands down. She's got that spice that I really love. but yeah, Toka. And then my other favorite character would be Yamori. Man, he had some of the best moments. Like, such a good creep vibe to him. Like, I loved it. And how, like, insane he was. Also, always him, like, cracking his fingers the way he did. Like, oh man, he was great. Attack on Titan, Levi was definitely my favorite. He is the best boy. Always enjoyed Levi's character, and to see that he was actually, 30 years old, and yet he looked like he was around, 18, 19 years old, you could definitely tell that he's young for his age, at least in appearance. Oh, man, I understand that, Levi. I understand that. And then Mikasa, I always liked Mikasa. Just the biggest problem I always had was her just being so attached to Eren, which, of course, the plot goes into that. I'm not going to spoil it, even though kind of feel like I did in the last Q&A, and I do apologize for that. But then there's Annie. I always liked Annie's character, especially like the big reveal when she was the female Titan, which, kind of obvious from how the female Titan looked and then Annie's looks, but hey, just saying. Then when it comes to Akame ga Kill, Bulat is one of my favorite characters. Like, oh man, he was a badass. Like, you want to talk about a great character, definitely Bulat. Good mentor to Takumi as well. The guy was just awesome. And then in Curcio, like, he made Incurcio for me, 100%. I mean, he was awesome. Also, Bulls. Bulls was, he was great. The one thing I liked about him, which was really kind of showing the side that, even the characters that were seen as, the antagonist, they were basically seen as good guys, too. And I really liked that, seeing that he had a wife and a kid. You really felt for him when he died, actually. Because, you would think typically with a lot of series, they kind of just paint the villain as a villain rather than potentially fighting for good. So his death was actually kind of sad to me. Leone, because who doesn't like Leone? Leone is definitely one of my favorites. Definitely a good party girl in a sense, too, because she'd be somebody that definitely give you a good time. You know what I mean? But, yeah, Leone for certain. Definitely enjoy her character a lot. Now, another one is mine because, well, everybody knows I love Tsunderes, and mine definitely knew how to melt my heart because she was one of the best girls. Changed my mind. I'm serious. Mine gets to me every time. And the anime version, what they did to her, it's tragic. Then Esdeath. Esdeath to me is best girl in that series. Because, like I said, I like Tsunderes, I like Yanderes. And Esdeath is peak Yandere for me besides, So I do love Esdeath. And besides, she is just hardcore. I love the hardcore nature of Esdeath. She shows that side of her that you love, but then it's you see her go into action, you're just God, she's terrifying. It's you got beautiful and you got threat at the same time. Favorite Titans, Armored Titan, because the design of the Armored Titan, always one of my favorite designs, and Rainier is actually really awesome as a character. Definitely the female Titan, because Annie just made that form awesome. When she just went in there and just destroyed scouts left and right, it wasn't an issue. Man, she was great within that fight. Also, the fight in the manga version, I thought was better between her and Eren than the anime depiction, but that's just me. The Warhammer Titan also, I thought had a very cool design. So I was really a fan of the Warhammer Titan, as well as, the hammer. Pretty cool. Then when it comes to Tegus, definitely Incurcio being one of my all-time favorites. Incurcio is just badass. Beautiful design. Beautiful design, great power as well. Love Incurcio. Obviously, the Demon's Extract that Esdeath had was another one of my favorites. And then again, you look at Esdeath, you look at the terror she posed, seriously, that woman was truly, truly, truly horrifying. But I loved it. Her power was great. Especially, her trump card. Oh, God. As Death, you get me every time. And then Akame's Murasame was also really cool. One slice, and you're done. Just, you're finished. But yeah, good question for sure. Thanos number 1 asked, so, had one question, you kinda, no worries, I understand you're busy, but next Q&A, I hope you'll answer. What are your thoughts on My Hero Academia Heroes Rising? First off, I do apologize for missing your question. I actually didn't notice that I had missed it. Glad that you actually brought that up to me. So what were my thoughts on Heroes Rising? I thought it was a good film. Horikoshi has also confirmed that the film itself is actually canon. So it has happened. So by what he stated, that means that it is canon. Also, I'm not going to spoil anything, but my favorite scene was definitely something that happens with Bakugo in the movie. I think you know what scene if you've seen the film that I'm talking about. But because Bakugo is, my favorite character. So there's a certain part that I really liked. But yeah, is good. But if I had to say, I highly recommend this movie. If you're a Hero Academia fan, definitely watch it. 100%. I would definitely recommend it. But yeah, good question. Javier Griffin asked, if you could make anything in RWBY good, what would you change to better or amazing? And Aizen versus Salem, trick question, Aizen, and the chair wins. So, if I had to say if there's anything I would change, I would change basically Volume 7 Volume 8 if I had to change that. I would change Adam's death. I would change the way that they treated his character. I would change the way that Neo was treated. I'd change the way that Cinder was looked at as a character. I would change the whole entire Ozpin Salem backstory. Like, there's so many things I would change, like, with the series to make it better. I'd probably say Adam would be, like, one of the biggest things. Or Roman. Like, not having Roman die. Because Roman was, like, my favorite character besides Neo. So, like, I would ensure more Neo and Roman action. Oh, God, I miss Roman. Oh, I do. I miss Roman, and I miss Neo being, actually treated good, because they treat her like shit. Let's be real. They treat her terribly. Along with every other character. That's another thing. I would want every character treated well, not like, they're the worst character on the face of the earth, like the writers treat them. Just saying. But yeah, Roman, definitely coming back. But yeah, good question, man. By the Cinder or a sensory route on which a message travels to the receiver for decoding. I don't know. Favorite Sonic song? I'd probably have to say Rolling Around at the Speed of Sound. I think that is fantastic. Most annoying boss in any game you've played. Oh man, Sephiroth. Sephiroth is one of the most annoying bosses I've ever been against, I'd say, ever. Especially Supernova. Like, when he becomes, like, his true form, his final form at the end of the game in Final Fantasy VII, and the Supernova, like, no, you just, you better be prepared for a game over if you're not ready for Sephiroth. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, definitely Sephiroth. Now, this one's an interesting one. One of the most annoying bosses I've ever had to face up against was Event Match 51 in Super Smash Bros. Melee. I don't know, for those of you who may have played it, it has Mewtwo, Ganondorf, and Giga Bowser. And that was one of the most infuriating event matches I've ever had to play against. And one of the worst boss battles I think I've ever played in any game. Like, it was horrible. And then Cynthia, Cynthia in Pokemon. Like, I didn't lose to her, but needless to say, that was not an easy fight. And I was under-leveled. Like, imagine being in your, like, late 40s, early 50s in levels, right? And then Cynthia's over here with level 66 Garchomp. That was literally me. And I was barely holding on. It was horrible. Oh, God. Cynthia can do whatever she wants to me. And I'd let it happen. Oh, but yeah. So top 10 favorite memes. Oh, okay. Now, this one is going to be an interesting one. There's tons of memes that I could choose through, but like, here's some of my favorites. Like, the He-Man, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, like, that meme, right? Like, I love that. And then when the Alolan Doug Trio came out, they did this. It just destroyed me. It was so funny. You talk about breaking me. That was a good way of doing it. Or like the Enrico Pucci ones about why he would reset the universe. I love this one. What's wrong, Pucci? Why do you want to reset the world? It's the year 2021. You see a kid doing the torture dance at a local supermarket. You go up, wow, I didn't know kids were getting into JoJo. What are you talking about? This is for Fortnite. Not ready for that. Yeah, I'd reset the universe also. Here's another good one. I love this one. When you're hitting it from the back and she moans, north latitude 28 degrees, 24 minutes, west longitude 80 degrees, 36 minutes. Because those are the coordinates. And then you just smack heaven. Oh, I love it. It's just so good. Oh, another one. Why did you fuck your Astolfo pillow again when you have me? Like, all the Astolfo memes, like, this one always gets me, like, this. Oh, this one's fantastic. Now, I love this one. You versus the blonde character with the piano theme she told you not to worry about. I love this one because both Cynthia and Giorno have a piano theme, and they both are characters you would never take lightly under any circumstance. Like, oh, it gets me every time. Like, I love this one. But that's not the only one in like terms of Cynthia, because I love this one also. If someone points at your black clothes and asks you whose funeral it is, a look around the room and a casual, haven't decided yet, is always a good response. Funny thing is, if you know me, like in person, I only wear red or black. Because, you know, those are my favorite colors, and it's just who I've always been, because, you know, I was always an edgy kid back in the day. Like, when I was a teenager, I was very edgy. So I would wear, like, black clothes mostly, sometimes red. So, you know, like, I always wore red and black because, like, those are just my favorite colors. Just the ones I've always enjoyed, and even to this very day, those are the only, you know, colors I wear. So, you know, it's kind of suiting for me, really. So, yeah. And then this one, Cynthia explaining Pokemon mythology. Me waiting to ask if I can have some of her Milkies. Yes, I wish this was an option. Oh man, just imagine if Game Freak actually made a dating sim for Pokemon. Like, God, people would jump into that. I bet they would. I really do. I do love me some Fire Emblem memes, like this one right here. How to make Crom Senpai notice you. Crom Senpai? If only there was someone out there who loved you, Cordelia. Crom Senpai? Oh boy, I'll savor more than just your delicious pie, Sumia Koi. Oh, poor Cordelia. I loved her character, and then it's like, the one guy she loves doesn't even know she exists. I'm serious, there was no interaction between her and, you know, Crom and Awakening at all. It's pretty sad. What if you married Lucina, then baby Lucina grew up and married your kid? Family life. Because, like, I was that player that would always marry Lucina in every playthrough of Awakening. I'm not gonna lie, because she's, like, best waifu to me in Fire Emblem every time. So that's pretty hilarious to me. But this one gets me every time. Go to your room, young lady. Fine. And then it shows Lucina in her crib with, like, her baby self, because, you know, she's from the future. That one's great. But here's another good one. Yugi, just think! Use your brain! The ban list was never made to actually stop my blue eyes, just to get people to stop complaining and think the meta is fair! I always love the Invincible meme, because you can just use it for so many different scenarios, and it's just, God, it's fantastic. Like, this moment is just the best. And I thought the Yu-Gi-Oh one was great, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh memes. Because, you know, I do play Yu-Gi-Oh on a professional level. And then Thanos number 1 asked, if you were creating your own story, what kind of ultimate villain would you create for the story, like purpose, power, and character? Oh, man. I would create one with the purpose of shifting the world and making it their own. Like, kind of making their own reality. So, like, taking the world itself and being like, oh, this is the problems of the world, and I want to create a better reality. Like, I want to create it within my image, right? Because what it can do is it can kind of make you focus on, like, their mindset and how they could try to believe that they could think that the world could be better within their own image, rather than the world as of how it actually is. Now, in terms of power, I would create like a distortional realm that they could actually kind of create whatever they wanted out of it. Now, of course, it would be limited to a set amount of time that they could use this power, because I feel like that would be too extreme if they could. But like basically like within like a dome space, they could create anything that comes to their mind to make it a reality for only that amount of time that it's able to, of course, but also like within that range. So like if it goes outside the bubble, it wouldn't exist anymore. But they basically kind of trap people within this zone that they could create, and they could just create whatever they wanted within that zone. And it would only last for a certain amount of time, but of course they try to work to obtain more power. Now in terms of character, I would like to make a charismatic villain. One that people could enjoy, but also kind of see as like just the slimiest individual at the same time. Someone that thinks that they're the best, but they're not. Like, kind of egotistical as well. Like, I would kind of like to do that. But yeah, good question, man. Duke Nuka-Cola asks, favorite Disney villains, be it from movies, TV shows, etc. Jafar from Aladdin is definitely one of my favorite villains. And besides the parrot being Gilbert Godfrey, awesome parrot. Best part of that. Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was definitely a great villain, I thought. And then my favorite Disney villain ever would probably be Scar from The Lion King. Because while I hate Disney, I have plenty of problems with Disney. Plenty. The one movie that was always my favorite that they made back in the day, like, I don't care for the modern Lion King, but like the old cartoon one back in the 90s. That was like my favorite Disney movie of all time. I love that movie. Favorite Fire Emblem Lords. Oh, now, this is definitely a good one. Like, okay, so like when it comes to my favorite Fire Emblem Lords, one of them is Roy, because let's be real, Roy's our boy. And playing Game Boy Advance, playing Roy, like his character, his story, I loved it. So good. And what got me into that was his father, Ellawood, because the very first game that ever hit the States was the one for the Advance before that one, which had Ellawood as the main character. And Ellawood is Lord. I've always liked him a lot. Great character. Another one, which would be Lyn. Like, Lindis is Windis, 100%. She was such a good character throughout the story, but like, as well as how much power she had when you upgraded her in back in the Advance game. Like, Lyn, she holds a special place in my heart. She's the one, she's like the first Fire Emblem waifu I ever had. So, she holds a special place. Eureka was also another one. I loved her character for her ditziness at times, but like, she is definitely a character that I think was a very powerful lord, because the class that she had was actually a lord-based class. And then Micaiah was also another one. Now, I actually liked her as a main character more than I did Ike. Now, I know, like, some people could say, oh, how did you not like Ike? I didn't care for Ike so much as I did Micaiah, really. I thought she was kind of more interesting than Ike was. Personal opinion, of course. But that's just me. Dimitri. Best boy. Dimitri is one of the best boys besides Roy. Now, he, in my opinion, was a fun character in Three Houses. Not only that, but I thought it was just hilarious, the hate boner he had for Edelgard. I mean, it made sense, but like, oh man, it was just, that's like one of the most prominent things that comes to my mind when it comes to Dimitri. It was great. And then, of course, the best lord is Lucina. She just, God, I loved this character from the moment she was introduced in the game. Like, and then, of course, when you get her playable, like, halfway through, I think it was Chapter 13, if I remember right, in Awakening. God, she's so powerful, especially given her Gravidius when she's in her Lord class. Oh, she was ranged with a spear. It was so good. Loved it. And just her personality just gets to me every time. She's so good. She just, oh, man, I love Lucina. Favorite Fire Emblem games? Oh, well, so when it comes to Fire Emblem games, I love the Binding Blade, the Blazing Blade, Sacred Stones. Now, I really did like the remake of Shadow Dragon for the DS. That one was fun. Awakening is also another one of my all-time favorites. And I really, like, Three Houses is up there. It's one of my favorites, but I do think there could have been some improvements to it. But it's still a game that I find a lot of pleasure in playing. So, there's that. So then the last question, between Natsu and Erza, who would you say is your absolute favorite fairy tale character? Oh, man, that's rough, because, like, both of them, I just like them both individually, because, like, Natsu, I can relate a lot to his character, but also he's just a great character. Like, he's someone that I think anybody could look up to as a protagonist and learn a lot of great things from his character. He also had great and awesome fights, and I love his magic and his father, like the whole thing with, Igneal and everything. Like, I can relate to, losing my father, like how he could, and like, I understand the pain of Natsu there. Like, Erza as well, like the torture she went through growing up, being a slave, and then having to, flee from the Tower of Heaven so that she could save the lives of her friends, but never return, and otherwise they'd be killed. Like, there's so much that's great between these two characters. God. And Erza's also a badass. Like, the great fights, like, one of the best ones was when she, killed 100 monsters. Like, that was still one of the best moments in the Grand Magic games. I loved that moment. That and her fighting, Kagura and Minerva at the same time, like, that was a great fight with her as well. I don't know, it might fall upon Erza, but, like, Natsu's there too. I don't know, I don't know, I probably can't decide, honestly, because they're both just so good. I love both of them for their own individuality. Like, I don't know, it's hard for me to say because they're both awesome. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. But yeah, good questions, Ben. Brandy Miller asks, favorite Danganronpa execution? Ooh, that's a good one. I'd have to say it's probably Mondo's execution, because he was literally put into a cage and then liquefied and turned into butter and just eaten on pancakes. And like, hearing his screams as he was taken away, like, man, crazy stuff. I mean, that one was a really good one. Always stands out to me. I always remember that one. Top 10 comic relief villains. Ooh, now this is a good one. So, starting this list off, gotta go with Eggman or Robotnik. Always did like him in the Sonic franchise. Great character, and has some of the best comedic moments. Now, while I mentioned Eggman, I definitely can't forget to mention Bowser, because Bowser is a really good villain. At the same time, he's also very hilarious. And, one thing I gotta give him credit for, he is a good dad. I mean, if you pay close attention to Bowser, he's a great dad. So then, Isaiah from Duraha. I don't think I could say that he wouldn't be on this list. The way he trolled Shizuo all the time, just the antics that he would do. I thought he was great, personally. Like, in my opinion, the best character in the series besides Shizuo. Then Control Freak from Teen Titans, because, man, every time I think about Teen Titans, I think about some of, like, the best villains, and Control Freak always comes to my mind, especially with, like, the old pop culture references and different shows and movies. It was great. It was hilarious. Also, Twice from Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia. Great character, and he was like a Deadpool, character. It was kind of cool, actually. Captain Hero from Drawn Together, because, my god, the things that he did. Oh, man, that show was so good. Like, I loved Drawn Together. That show, the dark humor and everything that was in it, it was fantastic. And then Aku from Samurai Jack, always one of the most iconic villains ever. Like, not only was he, like, comedic relief, but he was just downright evil. But he was brilliant at it. Like, loved this character. Vector from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal or Zale. Like, oh man, Vector, the troll. I've talked about this tons of times. I mean, while he was a fantastic villain, he was just a great troll in all of it as well. Loved his character. Then, the Ginyu Force. I mean, I would just say Captain Ginyu, but then I'm like, all of them are just a parody, realistically, of Super Sentai, So I was like, they all kind of fit on here, because they're all great. Like, I really love them. Toriyama had inspiration from Super Sentai, and then he made a parody of it. Great parody in itself, I gotta say, it really was. And then Team Rocket from Pokemon, because, honestly, I don't think I could have a comedic villain list without, like, one of the most iconic comedic villains of all time. I love Team Rocket. Fantastic characters, Jesse, James, Meowth, like, really good. And also, James is voiced by Zamasu in the sub. That's awesome, in my opinion. Really cool. And then, favorite My Hero Academia quirks. Oh, now this one's interesting. So, my favorite Hero Academia quirks would be between, one would be Bakugo's quirk, because I think his quirk's fantastic. All for One is an amazing quirk as well. Todoroki, his quirk is really good. You know, both fire and ice. I love that because fire is one of my favorite elements ever. So, actually, it is my favorite element. So, yeah, that'd be that. And then Mount Lady and her gigantification. Don't worry about why. It's just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, definitely favorite quirks. Norman Osborn versus the Joker. Who is worse? Oh, I gotta say the Joker. The Joker is just straight up insane. Like, you got Norman Osborn. I mean, yeah, the Green Goblin. I mean, and yeah, he did some crazy things. Like, you know, he is the reason Gwen Stacy died in the comics. But, like, you look at the Joker and his feats, the Joker is just, he's just chaotic. Like, you know, Norman Osborn, you know, he thinks things out. I mean, yeah, he's pretty crazy in himself. But the Joker was just, like, on a whole other level. Also, the laughing gas. Like, you know, dying through laughing to death. Like, seriously, the Joker is definitely the worst one. Definitely. But, I mean, he's awesome. I love the Joker. So, you know, I love them both. But, you know, if you had to say which one's worse, it's definitely a Joker. Now, on to the Discord questions. Sexy Dio asks, if you were to meet Truck-kun and be isekai'd into an anime, name one you'd want to wake up in and one you don't, besides Ruby. I think Fairy Tail would be a fun one to be isekai'd into. I'd be all for it. And then I'd go slap a ring on Air's finger. I don't care, Jalel. You eat your heart out. What I wouldn't want to be in. I wouldn't want to be in Attack on Titan. I don't care. Would not want to be in Attack on Titan. You can't make me want to be in that one. I would not want to be in that universe. Do not care. I would not want to be in that universe. But yeah, good question. Jay Insanity asks, question, let's say you're in teen years. How would you react if I told you I'm not an isekai? Okay. I wouldn't care. Because honestly, that's up to you. Basically the same as I am now. Like, just be like, okay, you know, it's not your thing. It's not your thing. Like, that's fine. Yeah, you know, just kind of whatever. I mean, if you enjoy it, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's just the way I see it. You know, it doesn't affect me any. Captain Boomerang asks, what villains do you agree with? Ooh, that's a good one. I definitely agree with Dio. He is definitely someone I would agree with. I mean, to be, you know, calm at mind, yeah, I'd always want that. That'd be like, you know, pleasure. And just always being calm at all times. Definitely agree with Dio. Also, Funny Valentine, because, you know, you could say he was the protagonist of Part 7, really. Like, he was the protagonist. Because, you know, he was wanting to basically be selfless and do everything he could to help society. Like, he wanted to help improve America. Like, seriously. Funny Valentine. Like, I 100% agree with Funny Valentine. Like, he was truly a fantastic villain. And, you know, his whole, like, which napkin do you take first, the right or the left? Like, I loved his ideology on that as well. Like, that was so good. He was fantastic. I mean, he really was. Shark Mark asked, what do you think of Daffy Duck? You know, he's fine. Like, I mean, that was a part of my childhood was Looney Tunes. You know, so like Daffy Duck, one of the funnier characters in my opinion. But yeah, no, I mean, I think he's a fine character. I have nothing against Daffy Duck. But yeah, good question, man. Alex the Kid asked, you think it's a little hard to go through a movie and not expect anything woke? Like, you're kind of just thinking about it in the back of your mind. It's really weird to have the mindset, and I try not to, but it's a hard habit to break. I mean, like, that's why I quit watching basically Western entertainment, because at this point, I'm just feeling like I'm going to see something like that. So, I don't watch Western entertainment anymore, really. Like, very, 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 very seldomly is it even something, and it's if it's recommended to me. But like on my own, no, I really don't. Like, I don't care to watch Western entertainment, like I said, unless it's recommended to me. Because there's just so much woke crap nowadays, and it just sucks in the West. That's why I watch anime and read manga all the time, because it's basically all I watch and read now. At one time, you would say, like, oh yeah, I had a balance of, like, watching Western entertainment as well as, like, you know, watching anime and reading manga. But, like, nowadays, I'm just, like, full on, you know, anime and manga. And, like, zero Western entertainment in the modern day, like I said, unless somebody recommends something actually good to me. But yeah, good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, what's your favorite type of backstory for a character, and what character has the best backstory for a hero and villain? For a hero, I still like Guts and, you know, his backstory. Like, you know, all the terrible things he went through, but still, like, it crafted him into the person that he is today. Like, Guts from Berserk, like, definitely has, in my opinion, the best, like, hero backstory. And, for villains, You know, like, to me, like, I go back to Funny Valentine because, like, he's fantastic. He really, really is. Like, I can't give enough praise to Araki over how good of a job he did on Funny Valentine. Like, I just, like I said, you could literally just say he's kind of the protagonist, although he is the antagonist of Part 7, but he's brilliant. Like, I just love Funny Valentine. I don't want to spoil that, but I just love Funny Valentine. But yeah, good question, man. Metalord395 asks, how do you feel about media journalists who aren't NPC? Would you support them? I don't hate them because they're not NPC. You know, if they were, I would be like, oh, okay, well, let's just make fun of them. And yes, I support them. Like, you look at Bound to Good Comics, they're really good. I like them. I support them. You look at, you know, Niche Gamer and Nichiban, they're really good. You know, I support them as well. You know, just saying. But yeah, good question, man. Sonic X24 Cool asks, if you were to recast Goku from Dragon Ball to any other actor, who would it be? If it were me, I would pick Jason Griffith. I mean, if there's anyone that I would choose, I would go back to the Ocean Dub Goku voice actor. His name is Peter Camillus. He was, in my opinion, the best dub Goku. So to me, if I had to say, I would go with him. Follow up, whichever one you choose will make Sean Schimmel insecure. Oh, well, don't worry. Sean Schimmel deserves to be insecure because Sean Schimmel's an asshole. Like, he's a dick. But yeah, good question, man. Sexy Neo asks, what would you say was your worst experience at a fast food joint, even if it was your favorite place to go to? Oh, okay. So I have an interesting story. All right. So this is a pretty good one. This was back in, was it 2013? I think it was 2013, if I recall. We were going to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series in Illinois. And my friends and I, we were driving up there because, you know, the most important thing to me is, like, the journey there. That's, like, the best part. I mean, playing is fun, don't get me wrong. It really is. But when you're traveling around the country, oh, man, the most fun thing is, like, just the journey there, right? And so we stopped in a place that we call the Twilight Zone. You'll see why in a minute. But, like, so we stopped at a place that we call the Twilight Zone. And so it was pretty bad because we go to this KFC. And so, like, I'm going to tell you, KFC outside of Kentucky, it's not as good. It's just not. It really isn't. And that's not a bias. Like, that's just a fact. I've been to multiple different KFCs, and just they never beat the one in Kentucky. So, like, this place, you know, we go there, we eat it, and we're all agreeing, like, no, this is not as good as, like, in Kentucky, right? Now, I've heard the one in New York's really good. I don't know. I've never been to New York. I've been to 37 different states in America, but I've never been to, you know, New York, so I can't say. But, so, like, this KFC, like, it just wasn't as good. And, so then we get ready to leave. Now, the experience is more so outside of the KFC. Because, like, in the city that we were at, we call it the Twilight Zone for one reason. We could never find a way to escape it. Which, I'm not kidding. We literally could not find an exit to the city. This Kentucky Fried Chicken lured us in there to, like, eat it. We couldn't find a way out. Like, no matter how much we tried, we couldn't find a way out forever. Like, it took us, like, I want to say an hour, maybe 2 hours to get out of there. Because, like, a friend of mine, he wanted to go and get some swimming trunks because the hotel we were going to was actually going to have a pool. So we go to a Walmart. The Walmart wasn't even a supercenter. And I'll never forget, it was like this small little boxed in like Walmart in the middle of like a parking lot. Like, and I was like, oh man, this is weird. So like, we go in there and our two friends go look, and a friend of mine and I was like, hey man, I was like, you want to go see if they have some Yu-Gi-Oh cards here? And he's like, yeah, sure, man. So we go over to like the card area that there would be one. 0 cards in that entire store. It was as if Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, anything just did not exist. It was like we went back in time. It was crazy. And so, like, we were baffled because we're like, what in the world? So then our friends come back and, like, they finally found, like, a pair of trunks to wear. And so we leave the place. I'm not kidding. I shit you not. We go and we find a Blockbuster Video. I'm not kidding. A Blockbuster Video. It was open and it was legit selling DVDs. I'm not even kidding. I was just completely shocked by what we ran into here because I thought, no way is there a Blockbuster Video here. I was like, no. And it was open. I was shocked. So then we were driving through the area. We found like this factory area. And it looked like it was abandoned. And it looked like it would be like some joint for like a murderer. We sat in the parking lot for a moment trying to find like where to go in the GPS to get out of there. We literally could not find out where to go. So then we go to like this area that it tries to lead us, and it leads us to a dead end, like where all this tall grass was at this house that was abandoned in the middle of nowhere. And so we saw the highway all the way over there, but we're like, how do we get over to the highway? So we start driving on the way back. And so we finally find the KFC again. Finally find it. And we're like, oh God, like this thing lured us here. This was terrible. So then we go over to like the gas station where like these two people, they looked like they were like escaped cons. I'm not kidding. Like they were just kind of like hovering over the vehicle that was like right in front of us. They were big. They were buff guys. Like they were huge. They looked like they had just escaped from prison. Like, and you're just thinking, this is a shady place. And so like, I remember my friend opening the car door, like one of my other two friends went in to get a snack, and he's like, I swear to God, we're never coming back here ever again. And I was like, no shit. And we got out of there, and we made jokes that was like where everybody goes for like the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. Like that's where all the band monsters go, and I will never forget that. That was like one of the worst experiences. The damn KFC lured us there. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you see a KFC and it's going to lure you into a town where there's a Blockbuster Video that's still open, just leave. Just leave. Just go to your destination rather than stay in the town, or else you'll get locked within the Twilight Zone. And you don't want to be in the Twilight Zone. Just get out of there. Just get out of there as soon as you possibly can. Oh, God. But yeah, good question, man. Johnny Q asks, do you think Suikan from Jujutsu Kaisen can beat Salem? Yes. Yes, I do. I think that a caterpillar could beat Salem. I think a kitten could beat Salem. So if they can beat Salem, then Suikan from Jujutsu Kaisen could beat Salem. I mean, Salem is just pathetic. Like, she's just sad. Like, oh God. Like, Salem's pathetic. But yeah, good question, man. Anime AK116 asks, what do you think of this meme? Okay, so, let's take a look at this meme real fast. So the meme says, Team Ruby, we saved Atlas. Please worship us. Big Iron intensifies. Wait a minute. They didn't save Atlas. Okay, wait a minute. So Big Iron would intensify if something good happened. That's the point of the whole Big Iron intensifies. This was not something good. This meme doesn't work unless you agree with Ruby and her idiocy. So, no, Big Iron does not intensify. Now, if this was you saying, yes, she's a villain, then yes, Big Iron would intensify. But yeah, good question, man. Thomas Halo asks, Elemental Heroes, Destiny Heroes, or Evil Heroes, and Cyber Dragons or Cyber Darks? Oh, man. So, I have to go with Masked Heroes. I mean, that goes under Elemental Heroes, but like, Masked Heroes, 100%. Destiny Heroes are going to get some pretty good support now that they're getting the Destiny card, which makes Plasma really good. So that's kind of cool, actually. Evil Heroes, they just never had the support to make them good, which is a sad thing, because, like, Co-Money over there, yes, and we call Konami Co-Money, but Co-Money could have actually made Evil Heroes really good, and they just decided, nah, let's just shaft the support. It's a shame. And then Cyber Dragons or Cyber Darks, Cyber Dragons all the way. Like, Cyber Dragon Infinity, yes. Cyber End Dragon, still pretty good. So yeah, no, Cyber Dragons, because Cyber Darks just never hit it off. I mean, that new structure deck will make them somewhat better, but yeah, definitely Cyber Dragons. Good question, man. Rainbow Boom X asks, if Frieza killed Q Jr. while he was stripped of his powers and mortal, how destructive would Q transformation be into what Frieza fears the most with his powers mixed in? Q would just obliterate like Frieza wouldn't exist anymore. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be Hakai, but it would just still erase him from existence. What would be the consequences of Q having this event live stream broadcast throughout the Omniverse and beyond, showing what Frieza did wrong? Oh, everybody would just, like, freak out. if in one shot, if brought back to life after being killed off for every individual he killed off unjustly through his actions. Like I said, I think he'd just erase him. I mean, he could torture him by doing that, though. And would he just leave Frieza alive at the end to deal with what he experienced? I think he just erased Frieza. I mean, think about it. The ultimate destruction to Frieza at that point by Q's hand would just get rid of Frieza forever. Like, what would be more terrifying? Just dying and then being through infinite torture, or just ceasing to exist where you don't exist, you don't feel anything because you're no longer a thing. You're not there. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he would just erase it from existence, because what would be the worst thing? I think the worst thing would be just no longer existing. It's like you'd have nothing there. You are so irrelevant, you are nothing at that point. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be the biggest thing there. But that's just me. But yeah, good question, man. Alex the Kid asked, what's the worst anime opening you've seen? That's tough. I'd say it probably goes to, like, the fourth opening of Naruto, like the original Naruto. I didn't like it. Now, while I like Flow, the band, because, they gave us colors, I didn't care for Fighting Dreamers either. Like, that song I don't care for. So, like, that opening, I didn't really like, in comparison to, like, some of the others. What's the best anime opening you've seen that you can't help but revisit once in a while? Now, this kind of more goes upon two of them. I did like the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's second opening. Oh, man, it's so good. It's like the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening ever out of any of the series. I love it, and the song is great. And then, obviously, opening 3 for Fairy Tail is so good, too. Like, Tower of Heaven and everything. Like, I love that one also. Like, that one's fantastic to me as well. And the song is just, I love it. It's great. But those are the two I always go back to. Like I said, they're kind of tied. But yeah, good question, man. Metallure 395 asks, how true do you think this statement is? Anime is greater than real people. Like, honestly, at this point, like, anime, I would live in an anime world. If you gave me the option, I'd live there. Because of, like, how insane this world has gotten at times. Like I said, it's clown world. It's peak clown world. That's what we're living in now. But yeah, I think that could be true for some things. Like, not all people are bad. But you do have your nut cases out there. And anime is a great escape for that. 2, have you seen the Demon Slayer movie by the time you read this question? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Yes, I actually saw it in Japanese, in fact. So I saw it subbed. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's a fantastic film. And I think that anybody that is a fan of Demon Slayer, you should go watch that movie. Because Mugen Train, yes, beautiful, beautiful movie. So, which quirk would you have? It could be from the show itself or completely original. I would probably have one that I would call Scarlet Hell. And basically it would be like flames that if the flames hit anything, like it would sap power from that individual and give it to myself, making me stronger. Also, it could be damaging, so it wouldn't just be like a sapping, but also it would be like actual burning as well. So it would actually be a really powerful quirk that could sap the power of the enemy, right? But then also boost the user. That's what I would have. For Elizabeth McAden, Kurapika versus the Hound, who wins? Though I surmise that Kurapika would win, even though I haven't seen that much Hunter x Hunter. Also, Heavy versus Jean, who wins? Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to answer this one, because this is a question towards Elizabeth McAden than it is myself. I guess you might want me to answer it as well, so I will. Kurapika beats the Hound, and Heavy sadly destroys Jean. Like, it would be so bad when Heavy beats Jean that it would just be pathetic. Just saying, if you had to ask me. Sexy Neo asks, what's your opinion on these two fan-made songs? So, the first one here would be Star Wars Darth Revan theme. Now, I did listen to this, and I gotta say, it sounds really good. I did actually think that they did a very good job on the song here, theme rather. But, I think that it was really good. And then, this one, I liked this one more, though, which was the Star Wars General Grievous theme, the Epic Samurai version. This, oh man, like, if this was actually played, during the, Grievous and Obi-Wan fight, oh man, that would have been epic. These were really, really good. The person that made them did an excellent job. But yeah, good question, man. Johnny Q asks, is it bad how Gundam Seed Destiny showed how bad parts of the military were, where Ruby tried and failed to show? I mean, at least Gundam Seed Destiny showed the problems with the military, as opposed to where Ruby didn't even show it at all. The only thing that they showed was that the military was entirely incompetent, and that they made Ironwood as dumb as humanly possible to put his soldiers on the front line where a whale was, whenever he could have used the actual cruisers to attack the whale and the Grim on the ground, and then could have had the soldiers put up on the wall. Seriously. Ruby's writing is hack job writing. Like, God, it's so terrible. At least Gundam Seed tried. Ruby didn't. Ruby just tried to be as awful as possible with that. But yeah, good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, what villain would make a great hero, and what hero would make a great villain? You know, I would have to say that I think that the Joker would probably be able to make a good protagonist. As crazy as he is, he'd probably find ways to solve problems if he was actually good. You know, like, he could do it. I mean, I think that he'd be someone... Either that or Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, after all, he actually became the president of America. Like, Lex Luthor could actually be somebody that could probably help, you know, people. Like, he could probably be a good protagonist. I think Batman would make a great villain because of his intellect, his scheming. Like, he would be great because all the research he could do and all the data he could file upon, like, heroes. He would be a deviously good villain if he was a villain. Like, he would be fantastic. But yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, which VTuber do you like? I did ask this question in March, but you didn't put it in your video. I'm sorry, I thought I did. My bad, man. My bad for missing it. So, my favorite one out of these, like, would definitely be Project Melody. I do really like her a lot. I also like Iron Mouse. And I also enjoy Neanners. They're the ones I would say are my favorite out of that group. Definitely for sure. But yeah, good question, man. Metallure395 asks, happy Star Wars Day, Nick. Can you think of some good anime like Star Wars... Wait a minute. Anime like Star Wars. Before Disney got their greedy little rodent hands on it. Well, Star Wars isn't an anime. So... I mean... Has Disney gotten their hands on any anime? I mean, like, didn't they have, like, weren't they involved in, like, some of the Studio Ghibli stuff? But even then, I don't think it was bad, so I can't think of any on the top of my head. So no, I can't. But yeah, good question, though. Jay Insanity asks, I know this is kind of controversial, but I'm going to say it any random day. Why there's no news about Zoe Quinn, aka the monster who got a man to take his own life? I don't see any news about her, like, this bitch needs to be in jail. Oh, of course she does. But you gotta remember, she sides with the Puritans. You know, she has the same, you know, perspective they do. So, of course they're not going to go after her, despite her leading a man to, yeah, ending himself. It's wrong. It's disgusting. But, yeah. You know, she's never going to be brought to justice for that, and it's a horrible thing, it really is. But yeah, good question, man. Salem supporter asks, have you ever played any tabletop role-playing games, i.e. D&D and its kin? Yes, I have played D&D. It was many, many years ago. I played D&D, had a little bit of a group there. I played it a lot back in college, like, so it was actually really fun. I loved it, personally. There was another one I played. I can't remember the name of it, though. But there was one that was obviously very similar, and we actually used, like, a board map. And you could actually pick from different characters. Well, basically D&D, when you think about it. But you could do it however you want, as well. And you had, like, stat sheets like you did with D&D. It was pretty cool. I can't remember the name of it, though, but I played that as well, and it was a load of fun. But yes, I have, and pretty good stuff to play, actually. A load of fun, in my opinion. Just, I love it. But yeah, good question, man. Drake and Josh asked, in light of Monster Hunter Rise coming out recently, how do you think the cast throughout the series would match up against any assortment of all the known monsters when each are taken at their most potent? Not exactly sure, because I would have to really go back over the games again, because, like, I haven't really, like, extensively gone into, the power levels, I guess you could say, of characters. So I would have to go into that. Also, I haven't got Monster Hunter Rise, so I would have to play that game also to be able to tell you. So I really couldn't answer that question right now. because I don't know. But yeah, good question though. Anyways, thank you very much. Jay Insanity asked. So this is basically the question in the tweet. It's 2005, and you open up the Cartoon Network website. What game or character icon do you click on first? I never went to the website all the way back then. Maybe back then, maybe Toonami Jetstream. That's probably what I would do, maybe. I don't know, because like I said, I didn't go to the website back then, but that was definitely the prime of Cartoon Network, in my opinion, was back in Cartoon City. I do remember that time, though. I do remember that time. But yeah, good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, what heroes and villains would make the best team? I'll tell you right now, two that would make the best team. Jonathan Joestar and Dio. Like, you know, you look at Jonathan and Dio, the rivalry the two of them had. Now, could you imagine, rather than fighting each other, they fight against another force instead? These characters would be great. Jonathan, his power, I mean, literally he could throw a mountain at somebody. And Dio, you know, with his stand of the world. Like, Jonathan being such a great and powerful Hamon user, and then Dio being a vampire, as well as having a stand. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you could throw Jotaro in there with fighting alongside Dio, since, you know, they have some similarity to one another. So, that could also be another good one. Another one would be Joseph Joestar, I think. Joseph and Cars. That would be another interesting combination, if you had to ask me, because, like, young Joseph and how his mind worked, how he was actually very quick to things, pretty clever, actually. And then you have Cars, who, well, he's immortal. I mean, yeah, Cars was pretty selfish as a character. I mean, he was. But Cars was pretty good in his own right. So, really, I think that'd be another good one. So, another character I think it would be good would be Superman and Darkseid. I think those would be two that would be excellent to work alongside one another, because, I mean, you know, you basically have a man who is seen as a god himself, right? Being Clark Kent. And then you have Darkseid, who is the ruler of worlds and dimensions. Like, you gotta remember, Darkseid beat Superman in their first fight. So, like, that would be a duo that would be absolutely terrifying, especially with all the power that Darkseid has at his disposal, along with Superman. That'd be insane. Then you could have, like, all three of these characters between Link, Zelda, you know, both of them teaming up with, like, Ganondorf. Because, like, if you were to have these characters, right, so, like, say, you have Link and Ganon. You know, you have these two team up together, you know, like, the greatest evil, I would say, in Nintendo's history, which is Ganon. And then you have Link, you know. That would be a good combination, I think. I think these two could actually learn some pretty good things from each other in terms of, like, you know, abilities and skills. I think it'd be great. And then, of course, you know, if you had Zelda and Ganon, like, man, with how much magic Zelda has, right? And abilities at her disposal, like, you know, the light bow as well. And then, you know, if you want to go with the, you know, incarnation from Ocarina of Time of Sheik, yeah, she'd be something. Samus and Ridley. Oh, man, would that be a good one, because, God, Metroid is one of my favorite game franchises out there, period. If you were to see the holy terror that is Ridley, and then him team up with Samus, that would be a really good combination, because you got the space bounty hunter there, and then you got this disaster, you know, which is Ridley. Be another one. Another one, Palutena and Medusa, because, you know, they're sisters, and so, like, Palutena with her trolly behavior. So, her teaming up with Medusa doesn't seem like it'd be unlikely if there was a reason for these two to actually work together. So, that would be something. Then again, who knows what kind of chaos that might ensue, because, well, yeah, Medusa is evil. Palutena, like I said, she's trolly. So, she might troll people, but at the same time, she might troll her sister, which would be hilarious as well. But yeah, good question, man. James95 asks, here are more Fate memes. Okay, so here we go. So, 1, 2, 3. with Merlin here. Oh, God, that's good. Camelot will fall, and that's inevitable. No, give me the Holy Grail. Uruk will fall, and that's inevitable. We know. Gilgamesh. Just like, yeah, like, we're all Chads. I like it. Fate Hero Links. Oh, man, like all the gacha games. My god, I did it! I finally summoned Virgil from Devil May Cry. Oh. Well, I guess I can see where the confusion comes there for Archer. Leave Shiro alone! The bone of my sword. I love this meme. This meme is always a great one. And seeing this with Archer and Artoria and Rin, that's fantastic. Personally, I'm hoping for an Altria harem next time. Farewell, au revoir, and good night. Master, you are a demon. I wasn't mentally prepared for this. Oh, that's great. King Arthur is my father, and I, Mordred, is King Arthur's son. Yes, yes. Fight me, father. Again with this. Yeah, that's Mordred for you. Come, Mordred. Let us go and destroy Sir Lancelot. Heck yeah, father. Ooh, father is so cool. I'll definitely win next time, father. I will beat your rump every time, Mordred. Ha! Just because you managed to beat my ass all those times before doesn't mean I won't kick yours later. Child abuse. That's definitely child abuse, right? Is Chaldea going to be charged with accessory to child negligence? At least they didn't fire their noble phantasm at each other. Oh, this one is really cute. Stop it, it's embarrassing. Mordred actually likes it. I said stop it. Oh, no. Oh. You just have Saber. Yeah, freaking Artoria going after Mordred. Oh, that's great. Oh, poor Mordred. The Lion family. This is Pop Lion. This is Mama Lion. Dad? Where's Mom? Oh, that would be an awkward conversation. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. I've been in constant pressure to produce an heir, and given my circumstances, is all but impossible. Oh, Merlin, whatever should I do? Oh, that's so sad. Bam! Think me later. Goodness, Merlin, whatever did you... Oh, Dixcalibur! Oh, that's gonna come back to bite him. Hey, Guinevere, come here, I have something to show you. Wow, this would make a fine addition to my collection. Thanks, Mr. Merlin. Anytime. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Merlin the Wise? That Artoria is strangling him. Oh, that's excellent. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Would you like a drink? What are my options? Oh, okay. And so then it goes on to say, wrong, it's tea. Yes or no? Merlin, man. Oh, both forms. Oh, man. That was perfect. I rolled a saber. Are you my master? Oh, freaking Archer again with Red. Oh, man, that's great. I have done nothing wrong ever in my life. I know this, and I love you. Yuki City. Yeah, and she just... Yeah, nothing wrong. And then what she did... by the power of this command spell, I order you... Shit yourself, Lancer. Oh, no. Oh. Mr. Pendragon, can I ask you a question? Sure, my dear. If the Merlin in your universe is a woman, it means that Sir Lancelot and all the other knights of the Round Table are women? He doesn't even respond. Friends Arthur, Senpai, and support servant, you're holding on to, please, just give up. Oh. Oh, no. Oh. Just a random Fey Grand Order bingo passing by. Received apologies. Sacrifice Archdefer. Had login streak broken. Graveled a servant. Wants a better pity system. Found JoJo references. Overworked supports frequently. Shops here. Buster Grill at some point. Appreciates Vyuki XF. Still waiting for animation updates. Still plays Bad Civilization. Free Space. Contemplated spending money, got salty at least once, used stalling tactics at some point, got spooked at least once, noticed the pattern with Teuchi faces, doesn't know whose banner to roll for, Honor Arikido knows QP Hell, reverse QP Hell, Apple Diet on lottery events, has a non-gameplay favorite servant, bullied Barabetos. Altria name localization feels weird. Okay, yeah. Oh man, that's a good bingo sheet. It's a question. Who is your waifu in Girls und Panzer? It's between three characters. So I did talk about this before. It would be between Maho, Miho, and Mako. Those are my favorites. I really like those three. But yeah, I know a lot of people really like Yukari because, like, you know, she's the tank nut, but like she's great. Like, I gotta say, good character. But yeah, Girls in Panzer had a lot of great characters. But yeah, good questions, man. Falstrom Jaeger asks, for the May Q&A, what games do you believe deserve sequels or remakes/remasters? I don't know. The only thing is about remakes and remasters, I worry about them because sometimes they seem like they get simplified every single time. Or they're just not as good because something gets taken out of them. So it kind of makes me worry. Like, for example, we're getting the Diamond and Pearl remakes for Pokemon, right? I'm very concerned about those because I'm afraid they'll be simplified and just nerfed for it to be easy for anyone to play. I worry about that. I hope to God that they don't do that because, as many people know, I'm sure, Pokemon is one of my all-time favorite video game franchises, and I worry for the Diamond Pearl remakes because, like, I did not like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I know that's probably a hot take, but I'll be real with you. Didn't like them. Then again, not particularly a fan of Gen 3, but, you know, that's just me. As for sequels, waiting on Bayonetta 3. Waiting on it. That, and I'm at least glad to see that Metroid Fusion's getting a sequel, you know, which, of course, you know, we already knew Metroid Prime 4 was going to come out, sequel to Metroid Prime. So, I don't know. In terms of, like, sequels that I'd want to see, I guess kind of everything I'd want. I mean, eventually, which I want them to take their time with this, and I hope it's good, is like a Fire Emblem sequel again. Like, we get like another Fire Emblem game. That would be cool, which I hope they do it well. I mean, because like Fates was kind of Three Houses had its highs and lows. I'd say a little more highs than it did lows, but I think you get where I'm coming from with that. So like, hopefully the next Fire Emblem will be really good. So I guess that's like the next one I'm hoping gets a sequel. It's just like a continuation to the Fire Emblem franchise. But that'll be like many years in the making before they do that, so. But that's fine. I want them to take their time with that. I want the best quality of a game I can get, you know what I mean? Probably Soul Calibur 7. That would be another really cool one I would be looking forward to personally, because Soul Calibur 6 I thought was a pretty good game, because 5 was oh god, that was a disaster. But so hopefully Soul Calibur 7 could be something we could see in the future. I would really like to see that. Devil May Cry 6, because, you know, 5 was pretty good. I still think there's some things that they need to keep going on with the series, but yeah, you know, I think that would be a cool one. But yeah, that's just me. Best and worst food restaurants. I do love me some Wendy's. Wendy's is really good. I like Arby's. What else do I like? KFC, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, those are some places I would say that I really do enjoy in terms of like the best. The worst, to me, McDonald's. Even though like I don't hate McDonald's, I can't actually eat it anymore. My stomach won't tolerate it. So if I do eat it, I literally vomit. So yeah, probably McDonald's just for that reason. Probably McDonald's. Favorite sushi and Japanese food. I do love the Dragon Roll. That one's a really good one. California Roll. A lot of people would probably say California Roll, but that one's another personal favorite. But yeah, those are like my favorite sushi. And Japanese food, I mean, I just like all of it, really. I think one of my favorites was these crab legs at this one place that used to be here had. Oh, they were so good. Like, it was beautiful. Like, you want to talk about delicious food. That was, those crab legs, man, they got me every time. So good. What video games, if any, has deeply affected you on an emotional level or influenced your life? I would definitely say, in terms of like some video games that have, definitely Final Fantasy VII. That was a big, impactful game in my entire life. Like, you want to talk about a game that, I really loved this very day and hold within high regard is that one. I think a lot of people could probably say that, though. But I mean, like, looking at it, that game actually had, like, some, big conflicting moments, like, emotionally. Like, that you could really feel, like, Barrett's backstory, with Cloud and the whole issue with Aerith happening, too. Like, how to deal with pain. There's a lot of things with that game that it could really teach you. And that was a big one. The Pokemon games have always impacted me in a sense. Like, you could say, well, how did that happen? It's really been something that's been kind of more of a challenge myself because, it's like training to be the best, but it challenges you as a person to improve, evolve, and be the best you can be. You get what I mean? Like, that was a game that, really made me want to better myself, if you could say. Like, games, rather. It's more than one game, of course. But, I'd say, like, the highest regard would be Platinum. Platinum was definitely, like, the pinnacle for me, in trying to do that. So, there was that. I'd also say Fire Emblem Awakening really got me. That was another one that I felt was a big influence. I mean, that's like later in life influence, but there was that one. And then, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, those are like some, newer ones, I guess you could say. Well, Fire Emblem Awakening's more like, almost, it was 8 years ago. But you get my point. So those would be some games I think that really hit me on a very emotional and impactful level. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, good questions, Ben. Johnny Q asks, I wonder how Team Ruby Volumes 1 to 3, likable ones, would react to the mechs in Gundam. Oh, they'd love them. Like, Ruby would be like, going crazy over the giant guns. Weiss would probably try to act like she didn't like it, but realistically would, her tsundere ways. Blake would probably wonder how that would help with stealth, and then Yang would just be ready to bust things open with it. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But yeah, good question, man. Metallure 395 asks, thoughts on the following. Bounding into comics. I think Bounding into comics is really good on what they do. I really support how they go about things with their journalism. They do a good job on keeping up with some things. So I'll give them credit. They do really well. Eruption Fang. I do like him. I think that he's one of the more sensible Ruby tubers out there because, Jesus Christ, we need more rational people in the world. And he's good at that. I don't agree with every single last thing he says, but I agree with, like, the vast majority of it. I think that he's definitely somebody you should listen to when it comes to, like, reviewing Ruby stuff, because he's good at it. And he's got other things on the channel that he does as well that he talks about. So, I think he's good at what he does. I actually do like Eruption Fang. So, Hirohei. My thoughts on him are, he's okay. Like, I do think that his content, like, if I had to give a little bit of criticism, I do feel it can be bland. I just feel like he doesn't have charisma. Like, I feel like it's kind of lacking there. So I do feel like his content can be bland at times. But, I do think he gets some unnecessary hate. But, a lot of that, I think, falls due to the fact that, he talked about Ruby at one time, and then nowadays, like, when he criticizes Ruby, you have the Ruby stands come in there and go, oh, you can't talk bad about it, how dare you? And so they try to create whatever hate towards him that they can. So I think he gets unnecessary hate personally, but, like, he's okay, I guess. Like, I don't have any issues with him personally. Nichiban. I do like Nichiban. I think that they do cover some really good anime news. So yeah, no, I do think that they do a good job. I do like them. Vex Viewer, I do not like him. Vex Viewer, one thing that made me not like him was when he had a tweet and he was trying to say that anybody that talked about, anything that's going on in the culture war, like how it made them sound dumb and how that they were basically just making a profit off talking about this stuff. When, what all of us that are talking about this stuff are doing is we're trying to talk about how the culture war itself, when you look at what's going on with entertainment and how all this woke stuff's being pushed in it, they're ruining stuff that people like. That's what's going on. Whenever you have all these SJWs coming in, all these companies that are pandering to them, all this woke crap happen, like, people don't like that. And it ruins franchises that people love and enjoy. Well, Vex Viewer, funny thing about him is, when you look at it, well, what's he doing? He's going around, he's criticizing Ruby, which is a show that did what? Went woke. And when you also think about it, he's making money off of it. How is it any different when he criticizes what's going on with a series when people that are actually talking about what's going on in the culture war, when they're talking about how series are being damaged by woke nonsense, people are being canceled for different political opinions or, different opinions about shows, like fans are being attacked by big Hollywood celebrities, you have that going on as well. I mean, you see where the Puritans are trying to push their colonial values onto other countries like Japan, for example. You see, this is actually a real problem. But instead, Vex Viewer, rather than seeing the actual problem, he himself just decides to make fun of YouTubers that talk about these real issues, and then try to say that, oh, well, they just make money off of this. And then what does he do? He goes around and criticizes RWBY, which is a woke show, and makes money off of it. I mean, he's a hypocrite himself. I mean, seriously, I don't like Vex Viewer. That's my personal opinion. Pit these jokers against each other, who wins? Oh, well, that's clearly obvious. The Batman Joker. I mean, he wins because, dear God, if you see all the things that he's capable of, like I said, the laughing gas, you breathe that in, you're gone. Like, you are just done. I mean, Persona Joker, don't get me wrong, he's strong, but the Joker from Batman, nah, that Joker wins. But yeah, good questions, man. Stu Never Gives Up. Where is Anita Sarkeesian video? Yeah, I was going to have that out, and I just got so busy I didn't get around to making it. I do apologize for that, because that was a big video that I was going to make, and I unfortunately didn't have the time to make it, so I do apologize for that. If people want me to make that video still about the recent Anita Sarkeesian issue, I can do that still. Just let me know if you want me to make that, by the way. Lancelot Gundam asks, my final question before the Q&A video came out, what if Punema owns Gundam 00, Quan T, and Gundam Unicorn and Banshee Norn abilities for the final battle? Oh, I mean, if she had that, she would be insane. Then again, she was already pretty overpowered herself, so that would just add to it. When Nia from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 finds out that this was her true form of Kamen Rider. I mean, I don't know much about Kamen Rider because I haven't really watched it. I mean, like, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't know enough of it to be able to comment on it, so I can't really say. I guess it's good, but like I said, I have no idea, so... But I'd have to say it's probably a good thing, so she'd probably be surprised. I mean, I guess. But yeah, good question, man. Steve Marathon asks, are you aware of Coomer shaming? And if so, why haven't you participated in it? Oh, and yeah, no, I'm totally aware of it. I just haven't really thought about it, I guess. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm totally aware that it has existed. It's been going on. I mean, I've seen some really good jokes about it. It's pretty funny, seeing some great memes as well. But yeah, good question, man. Metallure 395 asks, would you be willing to live in a society that only talked and cared about anime and nothing else? I mean, it'd be nice, but I would like a variety of other things to be able to talk about. But, I mean, it would be good to talk about a lot of anime, because, I mean, I could do it. But, at the same time, I would like to be able to talk about other things, too. Remember when I asked you whether a certain someone would refer to Pyra and Mithra as ladies of the night? Do you think that same moron would refer to Lady D the same way? Yes, Miles Luna would refer to any woman that's attractive that way because he's an asshole. Plain and simple. And he would get roasted for it. Guarantee it. I'd roast him for it. Again, I did it the first time. I'll do it again. Let's say that anime and manga stopped giving people fan service. What would you do? Would you go to war? Well, I mean... At that point, create your own stuff and put fan service into it that way. At that point, the best war you could go to with them would be to provide, your own stuff that you'd create, put fan service into it, and just be like, hey, look, here comes the money because I'm giving people what they want. But I mean, like, fan service is a good thing. I do like fan service. And, as long as it doesn't oversaturate the plot and, derail the story, fan service is a very good thing. I mean, if your series is full-on fan service, that was the whole point of it, then yeah, keep all of it. Don't get rid of it. But you get my point. But yeah, good question, man. Bale Link asks, May 2021 Q&A. Hey, Draco, I vaguely recall you say that this is the second anniversary of your Q&A series, so I hope you are doing good right now. I definitely am. Thank you very much. Who is the best waifu in Hunter x Hunter? Okay, now this is definitely a good one. My favorite in the whole series is Maki Kamachin. She is my favorite when it comes to all the waifus in Hunter x Hunter, although Bisky is definitely a very close second. Great character. And if you need to recover a lost limb, she'll help you do it with the strings. Should Goblin Slayer ever kill all the goblins, how would you handle how he deals with the aftermath? Have a celebration, man. Give the guy a damn trophy. That would take a lot of work. I gotta give him credit if he were to do that. I mean, props to him. Props to him. How do you write a good motivation for your protagonist and climax for a story? In terms of protagonist, I kind of think of you look at the character, you look at the environment that was around them, and, when it comes to motivation, that can also kind of spring up what they want to do with their life, what direction they want to go. Could be due to somebody inspiring them as well. Sometimes you take experiences from your own life to think about this character and how you want them to deal with the situation, how you want them to be motivated to grow into who they are. So you kind of go with your own experiences to kind of build up a character in a sense sometimes. Kind of interesting way to look at it, really. But yeah, sometimes, you can also ask other people and get inspiration, or you could also get inspiration from other series. It really just kind of depends upon how you go about it. A climax, I typically, what I do for a climax. I usually come up with my ending first, and I think of how the whole story could lead up to the climax. And then, of course, better improve the climax to make sure it all fits and makes sense still. But, you want to set your end goal first, in my opinion, when you're writing a story, and then you write the beginning after you've already made your ending. At least that's the way I do it. That's just me, though. Favorite type of sushi you recommend for today? I would definitely say the dragon roll, because if you like spicy sushi, that is the way to go. I remember the first time I tried it, went to a place, right near where I live, actually. And, oh man, it was so good. I was looking at the menu, I was looking at everything, and I got a spider roll, a California roll, and then I tried dragon roll, because I was like, I haven't tried this before, so I'll do it. Tried it, and instantly became my favorite, because you know me, I like spicy foods, so that hit the spot for me. If you're into that, go get it. Go for it. Top 10 tsundere waifus from anime, games, manga, and light novels. Go! Ooh, now this is a list right here. So, first off, Mai Kawakami from Musaigen no Phantom World. I adore this character. Then again, I do like Musaigen no Phantom World or My Red Colors Phantom World. She was one of the best parts to me because, like I said, Tsunderes always hit the spot for me. This character's got some fan service going with her, and she's got good assets, if you know what I mean. Colin Statfield from Code Geass. I always enjoyed her character. C2 is number one for me, but Colin is a extremely close second. I mean, awesome, nightmare pilot, and she's got a very good pilot suit. But but yeah, no, I liked her character, and I thought she was one of the best parts. Noir from Hyperdimension Neptunia. I've always loved this character. She is always one of my favorites. Her and Blonde are my two favorites in that entire series. And, yes, definitely got to be Noir. She takes that top spot, besides her tsundere personality, along with Neptune bugging her is great. Mine from A Kame ga Kill has always been one that's held a special near and dear spot to me. The adorableness of this character, the tsundere to her, just, oh man, I love it. And just the more you see her character grow throughout the series, she gets me every time. She melts my heart. Another character would also be Irina Nakari from Food Wars. I mean, she's a great tsundere. I love her interactions with Soma because, she gets so upset just over the littlest things with him. Also, excellent cook. Definitely something I do like. So, yeah, Irina always does it for me too. Taiga from Toradora, because she is Queen Tsundere. I mean, that's what she's actually known as, Queen of the Tsunderes, for a good reason. And you want to talk about when you get her heart to be melting, oh man, she's got an adorable smile. This is a character that, oh man, just, Taiga's great. I love her to death. Then Rin from Fate. I always have loved Rin. Her character has been one that, you just can't help but think about. When you think about Fate, she's one of the characters that comes to my mind, besides multiple different sabers. But Rin always comes to mind to me first. If you were to talk about the original Fate's Day Night, she comes to my mind first. But yeah, Ren's also one. Severa or Selena. Severa has always hit me hard. Like, when Fire Emblem Awakening came out, and then you find out that Cordelia's future daughter is actually Severa. Oh, God. I love Severa. Like, and when I was playing through Fates, because she comes back in Fates, right, as Selena, you know, her name gets changed to hide her identity, I married her right away. First playthrough in Conquest. No joke. Another one is Kurisu from Steins Gate, because, God, she was a genius. You know, the whole thing with, like, time travel and everything that she was trying to figure out with Okabe. Like, her opening up to Okabe, like, really helping him as a character, too. Like, she's great. She's, like, the best part of it. I mean, really. And then, of course, we can't forget the Aegis, or that sexy Mithra.
Pervert.
You know, yeah, Mithra hit it to home right away. Whenever you have the scene where Pyra transforms to save Rex, like, and then she becomes Mithra. Like, God, that was a badass scene. And the more you play through the game, the more I just love Mithra. Like, she's just a great character. Smug, known as the Simpleton as well, but I mean, she's great. But yeah, good questions, man. Anime AK116 asks, have you watched The Bad Batch, or what they're now known as by Star Wars fandom now has dubbed them the Dad Batch? No, I haven't, because I haven't really cared to. Biggest reason being because of what, you know, Lucasfilm did to Gina Carano, and, you know, I'm not going to support that. You know, I mean, yeah, of course, like, you have Gina Carano coming back and everything, but, like, that just turned me off the, like, Star Wars, like, anything new, really. I love Star Wars, at least the old stuff, but, you know, I didn't watch it because I didn't want to give them the support for it. I mean, I might find other ways to watch it, if you know what I mean, but, you know, you get what I mean. What's your favorite piece of Star Wars content? I like the Thrawn trilogy. Thrawn trilogy is one of my favorites. That and the Bane trilogy. I'd probably say Bane is probably my favorite when it comes to, like, the books and everything, but that's just me. And who is the best Jedi you want in your harem? Mara Jade. Like, Mara Jade definitely takes it home for me, and she was, like, the best girl ever in Star Wars, in my opinion, but, you know, that's just me. Yeah, good questions, man. Jay Insanity asks, Dracolord Nick, this may be a little hard to digest, but feel free to refuse. At this point, Japan needs to step up and make their own companies in the West, or put a leash on these Western companies by hiring someone from Japan to monitor them. So the SJWs will feel the pressure. So, like, the big thing that I think is that they just need to get this stuff out themselves. They don't need to use Western companies to push content through anymore. It's not like the 90s where they needed to use, like, companies like Funimation or 4Kids back then to get stuff out. You know, you have the internet and you have easier ways to access this. So I don't think making things in the West would be better, and here's my reason for that also, is because look at what happened with Sony. They moved their headquarters to the West, and now look at all the shit they've been doing. So making companies in the West would not be a good idea. Rather, just distributing it, you know, overseas themselves. They can do it themselves now. I mean, like I said, you have the internet. So times are different than they were back in the 90s. So be easier way to do it. Why did Japan didn't know about the funny BS? Oh, they knew. No. Japan knew all about it. In fact, the voice actors for Dragon Ball over there knew about it, and they thought it was stupid. They thought it was a joke. They thought it was dumb that would happen. Toei Animation was not happy with Funimation for firing Vic, which, you know, can't blame Toei Animation for that. But, you know, they still use Funimation, I guess, because, well, for one, Funimation's now on committees over there in Japan, which is immediately a terrible thing. That's not good. But also, I think they still feel like they have to use, like, companies in the West to get their anime out there. But, like I said, it's not like the 90s anymore. They can totally change it, and they can do it themselves now. But I guess they just don't realize that. I don't know exactly why they don't, but yeah, no, they were aware of Funimation, though. But yeah, good question, man. Anime AK116 asks, do you think this is wholesome? Okay, so take a look at this here. Brother, big sister, look. Allow us to introduce to you the greatest huntress to ever live, Akai Ichigo. I mean, I guess. I don't really understand the context. I mean, sure, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, good question, man. Jay Insanity asks, what are the top 3 English songs you liked? For me is Eight Graves Evil, Unlike Pluto, Sabotage, Confetti, Rob a Bank. My top 3 favorites would be Come and Get Your Love by Redbone, Enter Sandman, and this one's a big one. I absolutely adore, like, this is my soul song, which would be Bohemian Rhapsody. Those are my 3 favorites. Yeah, good question, man. Lancelot Gundam asks, May Q&A. 1. What if any of the characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 were continuing the Redfield bloodline of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8? I mean, they could get with Chris and do it. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, if they did, I mean, they'd continue the bloodline. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, there'd be that. After the release of Village, could God of War Ragnarok be the next game changers of the Sony games? I don't know. It's Sony. I don't think so, because they're made of soy now, so I don't know. Maybe, but I highly doubt it. But yeah, good questions, man. Steve Marathon asks, now on to a serious question. What do you think of doing a Morrowind Let's Play? Huh, you know, that would actually be kind of fun. I mean, I could get behind doing it, like, so, yeah. I mean, you know, I'd have to set everything up to be able to do that, but yeah, no, I mean, I could do it, and that would be very interesting. I'd have to get back to everybody on that, but, you know, I could. Yeah, be awesome. Good question, man. Jane Sanity asks, if you have a choice with dystopian place of the world, will you be working for? All these are bad as hell, but you have one choice. 1 J Corp, their singularity enables them to put a lock on anything physically and conceptually in general. They are a large casino corporation that controls and highly monitors these facilities through security cameras and using their locks. They staff surveillance with hundreds of workers who examine dozens of screens for any signs of cheaters. 2 M Corp created a moonlight stone that fortifies the mind and blocks out any forms of mental damage through their singularity, except for physical. R Corp's singularity is cloning technology, which they use to pump out multiple copies of their elite soldiers. R Corp first produces several thousand copies of an individual, then they force all copies to battle to the death in a lab-grown combat environment known as the Hatchery. The last copy to emerge alive wins and is recruited into the group's ranks. 4 W Corp, known as Warp Corp, they handle warping and teleportation technology, namely the warp train network that runs throughout the city. Their singularity allows them to restore things to a recorded state through manipulation of molecular and genetic structures. W Corp's partnership with T Corp is to restore all the passengers to their original state when they boarded the train before arriving to their destination. A cleanup crew is sent to subdue them so that they can be properly restored. The passengers, of course, will have no memory of being trapped in a train for thousands of years, only experiencing the brief 10 seconds of warping to their destination. Probably J Corp would be the one that I would be the best one, in my opinion. You know, just surveillance. I mean, to me, that really doesn't sound too bad. So yeah, no, I'd have to probably go with J Corp if I had to say. Because out of all of them, it sounds like it might be the least of a worry. So yeah, definitely J Corp. But yeah, good questions, man. Alex the Kid asks, alright Draco, time to test your knowledge. Let's see if you can guess these servants. Alright. Now, as everybody knows, I'm good with faces. Names I'm not as good with. So, let's see if I can guess these servants. So starting with the first one. This was an assassin. Okay, so this one is Matahari. I know that because I remember this character pretty well. And so, don't ask why I remember this character. Don't worry about why besides the plot. Just think about the plot. That's why I do this. Okay, just don't worry about it. This one is a ruler character. This one I can't remember as much. Amestria. I'm gonna go with Amestria. I doubt that I'm right, though. We'll find out at the end of this if I'm right. I bet you I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. Okay, now, I do remember this one. This one is Alexander. You know, this is a writer. This is Alexander. I do remember this one. So, I'm sure this is Alexander. I'm very positive this is Alexander. So, I'm going to go with Alexander. Gonna do it. This one. Oh, God. This Berserker. I actually don't think I know the name of this character at all. Like, even remotely close. Zeta Warp. I'm just gonna come up with something. That's wrong, and I know it, but I'm going with it. Now, this one... Okay. Oh! This one I feel like I do know. Was it... It was Mecha something. Because... God. Okay, come on. What is this? This is now racking my brain. Was this, Mecha Ollie? I'm gonna go with Ollie. Mecha Ollie. I swear to God if I'm close. Oh, God. Okay, so the first one is Matahari. Okay. Yeah, see, told you I knew that one. Estria. I said Amestria. God! That was close. Alexander, yes, I got the third one right, or at least. Ibaraki, yeah, Doji. Yeah, there was no way I was going to get that. I didn't even know that character, so. Mecha Elich. No! I was close! Ah! Damn it. I knew the character. Ah! God, that. So close. So close on the third. I almost had 3. Almost had half at least. A little over half. Ah! I was so close. Ah! Oh well. That was good, though. Good question, man. Lancelot Gundam asks, what if Rex, Hikari, and Homura, which Hikari is Mithra and Homura is Pyra, goes on a time travel to the timeline of Ethan Winters, where they're gonna do a boss fight against E001 and Mother Miranda BOW form. I mean, they'd win because, you've got Mithra and Pyra. They'd win. Like, just be real. Panema, you kidding me? They win. Yeah, good question, man. Jay Insanity asks, best game boss original soundtrack. Here is mine. Oh, yeah, so his are Roland Boss from Library of Runia. That's interesting. I do like the Sephiroth theme from Final Fantasy VII, the original one. So good. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. And then another one I really love. Now this one goes back to the old days. Like Metroid. I love the theme of Samus, but I also love Ridley. Like, ooh, Ridley. Oh, always good. You know you're going to have a time when it comes to Ridley. So, yeah, those are my favorites. Or at least some of them. Sexy Neo asks, here's some memes. Oh, here we go. We got some VTuber memes this time. Okay. I do not like this sea creature, Charlie. It's smug or mocks me. This is funny on 2 different levels because I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, that show is great. Danny DeVito's awesome. And Ina, just the smug look of Ina. Oh, this is good. Ina, any explanation? Ina, impasta? I'm innocent. Let's talk about this. Ina was ejected. Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah. Corona announcing her plans to do a no-sleep challenge. Astel, who currently holds the world record for longest live stream without sleeping. That reminds me of the time when Etika, when he was still alive, when he tried to do a 24-hour live stream for Nintendo and then he passed out for 4 hours during the stream. That was hilarious. I remember that. God. Oh, do I miss Etika. Rip Etika, man. Rip Etika. Fellas, if your wife looks like this, that's not your wife. That's your friend. Well then, here's the thing. I can have a wife that's also my friend. You're my wife. Changed my mind. Intermediate weaves when seeing anime. Veteran weaves when seeing anime. Normal human when seeing anime. Normal human when seeing age anime. Veteran weaves when seeing age anime. Intermediate weaves when seeing age anime. Oh boy. Nice try slapping the motherfucking Da Vinci. Wait, you already say motherfucker. Gah, always have done. I get it. Because Callie has a bit of a problem with saying it on stream sometimes. Like every once in a while she slips. Yeah, I've seen that happen. Yep. Oh boy, who doesn't though? Who doesn't say it? Just saying. Make Hololive memes to get on Meme Review. Have memes used as Twitter banner and video thumbnails. Become Hollow Mom and create their new avatars. Become Hollow Mom and create their new avatars. That's a good one. I do like that. I'm gonna miss Coco. Oh, I'm gonna miss Coco. Noelle walks to the strip club. She realizes that the girl on the pole might be Yabai and blocks the screen. She accidentally pays for a private room. Paid woman has booba before Noelle can block. Oh, oh, that's great. Hololive Ian Minecraft experience. So there's the expectation reality. Some people thought immediately would have like a smaller house. It's like a huge utopia. Then girl having like an underwater area that's like she's lost, doesn't know what she's building. And then Ina looking like she has like a farm, and then her being like like a cave miner. That's good. Kiara having a restaurant. It just has like a whole load of chickens. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Callie actually having like this big, huge like manor instead. It's just like one big like little cave like home. Yeah, sounds about right. Actually, sounds about right. Okay, so Halloween, Ina is the most pure, and then it just shows her with the surgery. Oh God, yeah, that's all right. Kind of reminds me of the time when I was in elementary school, like way back when we had to dissect the frog, and my friend and I tried to take the brain out of the eye. We almost got it too. Almost got it. I'll never forget that. Never forget that. I'm interested in Reddit. You're not posting anything weird, right? Oh, poor innocent sheep. You don't understand. They never post anything innocent there. Oh, here's Toa. Me wanting to post on the Hololive main Reddit. Your account is too new. Let me in. Oh, yeah, Eric Andre. Not enough karma points. Let me in. Oh, God. Yeah, that's great. Oh, and then the points, like how Coco has like less than Amane. Yeah, that's kind of funny actually how that worked out. But yeah, it's Reddit. I'm not really surprised to seeing the crazy things that go on with Reddit. Okay, so here's this one. I guess this is a Reddit fan over like Coco. Loves Japanese. Make sure there's enough memes for meme review. Loves shitpost. Collectively speaks English and Japanese. Simps for someone named you. Coco hates Japanglish, but puts it in every meme review. Loves shitpost. Speaks English and Japanese. Simps for someone named Kiryu. Oh, so she simps for herself. Oh yeah, base upgrade super form final form. Final form. Oh man, just all the changes there for Roshia, and then you have like Kali, and then oh boy, Toxic Gamer cuss every now and then. Breaks controllers. Yeah, Ame has done that. She's definitely cussed now and then. I've heard that on her stream sometimes. Overconfident Gamer thinks the situation's fine. Jesus, every time. Oh, and then yeah. It goes pretty poorly for a girl when that happens. Whiny Gamer overreacts to everything, salty when losing. Calm Gamer laughs at her mistakes and minimal reactions. And Boomer Gamer generally sucks at games, dies instantly. Callie's had a pretty bad record sometimes at games. That has been true. But it's been pretty funny to watch. Gura and Ame, a way out. Callie and Kiara, you and me, a way out. And then Ina by herself. Oh, poor Ina. Reddit lied as naturally as they breathe. We haven't fallen down the VTuber rabbit hole because of some incredibly cute shark girl. Press X to down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I doubt it because I've heard of many cases where people have fallen down the rabbit hole and continue to sink further and further down it. So, yeah, I doubt it. I'd press X. Responses to their dorm being on fire. Okay, so the first one is calmly hoses down the fire while checking for insurance and calling 911. Okay, then pretty normal. Tries to reap the fire with her side. Take that, yeah, F you, fire, oh God. Fireproof but screaming. Callie, help me, Callie. I guess we're all fired, oh, Ina. Oh, your puns, yeah. Room visibly engulfed in flames, except where she's standing. Oh, you miss me, stupid. Oh, yeah. Still streaming, and that's how you kill a spider. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, that sounds about right, actually. Sounds about right. Oh, no, this is a good one. Oh, man. Just like, oh, nah. It's like, oh, yeah, just the bandages. Just the bandages. This is brilliant, but I like this. You know, I will say I am a Sakura Miko fan. I do very much so enjoy Sakura Miko. I find her to be very fun. Besides, you know, do like it when she says "fack" all the time. Oh man, great! It's great. Matsuru's cute. Rewarding herself. Oh man, you know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like an egotist. Oh boy, but yeah, that's great. Yago, Hololive, why can't you just be an idol? Matsuri, idol go bree. Yago is best girl. Yago, oh Yago, that meme that goes on and on. Oh, it's a good meme though. Good meme though. Everyone else a screenshot photo shoot. Oh yeah, you have. Oh yeah, like what is this? Polka? Because like you have like everybody else like Botan and Lammy who have like normal ones, and then the other two, and then you have Polka. Oh, it's like she was like rushing through the camera. Suisoi killing everyone. It's just a game. There's no logout button. She's freaking out. Oh. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. Rushia is pretty good when it comes to her games. Oh, okay, so now we're gonna have fun with this one. Magic Kado, Fugo Hashto, Picora, Mad Hatter Fugo, Armarido, Amoru Polka. I thought we could have a little fun with that one. That was Polymerization, Activate, Picora, Mad Hatter Fusion, and then, come forth, Amaru Polka. So, thought y'all might like that a little bit. But yeah. Polka when someone asks her lewd questions. Polka when she's asking lewd questions. Oh, yeah, it's like all the questions directed at her like, oh no. But then it's like all the lewd questions is like, ooh. She's all for it. Oh, that's great. That is hilarious. Coco Senpai, can I join meme review to see the shitty memes? Yes. Actually, just want to say motherfucker like a boss. Oh, that's because you hear that from Coco all the time. Oh, that's great. I love it. That's absolutely hilarious. That is great. Would you idolize criminals? No. And that's like, no. After seeing Marine Picora in Okayu. That's great. That's absolutely hilarious. Oh man. What's upstairs? Unfortunately, the stairs don't talk. That would be Ina's dad joke of the week. Yep, I could see her saying that. I could definitely see her saying that. I need beautiful women to comfort me. I did very badly on Minecraft today. Good fucking luck even getting a girl to look at you after today. Oh. Youch. Oh, that's... you're gonna need some burn heal for that one. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, the Kali reveal whenever she showed off. Like what Kiara would act like in response to that. Oh, yeah, she would just lose it whenever she saw the full reveal. Sure, she probably did. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so here's another one. Japanese Hololive fans don't understand overseas Hololive memes. Coco does meme review on our Hololive. Coco translating overseas Hololive memes for the Japanese fans. Now adding Japanese subtitles and memes for the Japanese fans using Google Translate because I don't understand Japanese. The Hey Ollie version or the Hey Muna version? Ooh, that's a tough pick, but I think I gotta go with the Hey Ollie version. Red's one of my favorite colors, so, besides, there's Sakura Miko right there. I gotta go with it. Gotta go with that one. Gotta catch all the waifus. Gotta do it. Yago. I'll give them idols. I'll give them the cutest idols the world's ever seen. And when I've conquered the East, I'll move on to the West, so that everyone can watch them. Everyone will be Kai Niki. And when everyone's Kai Niki, no one will be. What? Oh, God, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, you horny. Ah, yes, this is a good way to get a lot of people. You just gotta throw that meme at them, And then next thing you know, what are they going to say? They're probably just going to say no, but, you know, you could probably smack somebody with that one. Pretty nice, actually. That one works. You've heard on Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for Lion on Necromancer? Is that... Wait, what? What? The lion attacked the Necromancer? What? What? Okay. Okay, you. Ooh. Okay, wait, is this supposed to be like a stage change? I'm guessing? I'm not exactly sure what that one is. What I watched, what I expected, what I got. Oh, yeah, from the squirrel first off. Oh, man. What I watched, what I expected, what I got. Yeah, or Moon is crazy. What I watched, what I expected, what I got. Practically the same thing on that one. Me flexing my knowledge about every Hololive member. My friend who was just watching Corona speaking English. Oh, speaking of Aqua, glad to see that she came back. I know that she went through a hard time. So, you know, it's actually good to see that she's finally recovered and doing well. So, you know, glad to see Aqua come back. But yeah, good memes there. Good memes. Metallure 395 asks, final questions for this month. One, remember the one line in Skate the Infinity that you roasted? What would you have changed that line to so it wasn't woke? Probably could have changed non-binary hoes to other skateboarding hoes, or simply have said, all you guys who love skateboarding. I mean, I just would have kept it as similar to the original script as it was. You know, I don't think there was any reason to change it, honestly. I think it was just, you know, fine the way it was. But of course, leave it to Funimation to push their, you know, woke agendas into it. Two, could you totally see Bakugo using his quirk on any modern comic book he saw? Yes, he would burn them all, because he'd hate them. Yes, he would burn them all. Come to think of it, how would the characters of My Hero Academia react to how far the Western comic book industry has fallen, especially considering how My Hero Academia was inspired from pre-woke Marvel and DC. Oh, I mean, like, you know the All Might meme where he screams, like, no, you know, like that? Yeah, that's basically how they would all probably react. Like, it would be like that. Number three, is it possible to make a successful story without attractive characters? I mean, you can. It's been done. I mean, so, yeah. How would you imagine any attractive female anime character would react if they were to cover up to avert the male gaze? Oh, they'd be furious because, you know, they're being told what to do, and they would, if they were real, have their own rights to do whatever they wanted. But remember, they're fictional. But if they were real, they would be furious about it. What are some good LGBT anime to watch? I just watch series regardless of whatever. I don't really care, but was it I think Life to Bloom is one that I have watched that was really good. Another one was Citrus. I liked those because you know, I just kind of watch anime. I don't really look at like the genre type. Like if it's something I feel like I'm interested in, I'll go for it, but that's just me. Have you ever considered doing a blog about the content you cover? I know Hirohei has his own blog called NeonNet. I never really have thought about it, but I mean, if people really wanted to, and if I had the time to do it, then I would dedicate time to doing it. I mean, it would probably be a while, though, before like I'd get to starting it, though. But, I mean, I could if people really wanted me to. Like, so if you really wanted me to, like, if anybody did, I would. It'd just be a ways from now, but, you know, it'd take me a while to get it all set up. But you get what I mean. I mean, I would once it was all set up and everything. Are you familiar with Excel Saga? Yes, I have actually seen Excel Saga. It's okay. I mean, I've seen better series, but I've seen worse, so I would say it's okay. It's in the alright range. Kanokan, I have not seen Kanokan, so I can't say anything about it. In Another World with my smartphone, I have not watched that, so I don't have an opinion on it. Citrus, I have seen it. I really like it a lot. So that is a series I would recommend, and it's still ongoing, so, you know, good series. I'd like to see another season of it adapted, personally. At least in anime. Now, like, the manga is really good. I do like the manga. Have you ever felt socially awkward, anxious around other people? And what advice do you have for those kind of people? I mean, yeah, I was actually an introvert. Like, growing up, I had a lot of issues going on in my life, so it was very hard for me to be able to communicate with other people. I know probably some people are thinking, really? You have a hard time talking with others? Yes, actually. I've had a hard time for a lot of my life, really. Because I didn't fit in. I was made fun of growing up, and it was very hard for me to kind of really push myself out of my shell. I mean, of course, I got out of it later on years, but it was really hard when I was very self-conscious growing up because of what was going on around me, and my home life didn't make that any better. So I really kind of kept to myself a lot until I started getting edgier, and then stood up for myself, and yeah. But best thing to do is just not worry about what people think. Just try to be yourself. And if people like you, they like you for you. If you decide otherwise, if you just try to stay in that shell, then you're never going to branch out. So, just make efforts to kind of speak out a little more. Just be yourself. And most importantly, don't worry about what people think, You'll find people that will be accepting of you. You always will. So just always be yourself. And remember, it's not uncommon for people to be, insecure about talking to others. It's something that commonly comes amongst people. Not everybody's an extrovert. And, there are introverts out there. But you know what? Introverts can be very kind and sweet people too. And I've met some. So, But yeah, just be yourself. That's the most important thing. Do you know if there are any anime about bowling? I'm sure there are. I've never watched any though, but there probably are. You just look out there. For any aspiring anime makers, what advice do you have? Well, I would say watch around for like multiple series. It gives you an idea of how to write as well. That's a good thing. One big thing to do is I always tell people if they want to try to do like an anime style, like a mangaka's kind of style in a sense. Always check out different manga because, you're going to always have your own unique style specifically to you. One way to test that, like to learn better when it comes to drawing, is to, try to look at some manga and then try to draw it out, because that's a really good way to get an idea for like the surroundings around you as well as like the character. So like you get an idea of surroundings, how to put a character there, and how to make the background look very nice. But that's my advice on that. What software do you recommend? I personally don't use software. I'm kind of the old-fashioned, pen and paper kind of guy. That's actually how I do it. I'm sure there's really good software out there, but I'm kind of old-fashioned with my art. As odd as that may sound, it's actually true. That's how I learned how to draw, funny enough. Would you say you're more of a cynic or an idealist on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being extremely cynical, 10 being extremely idealistic. Me, I'd say I'm a 3.7. If I had to say, I'd probably be like around the middle, like a 5, maybe a 4. Personally, that's just me. So that's where I'd say I'd probably reside at that. Would you say that All for One is the My Hero Academia equivalent of Lex Luthor? Or is he closer to Darkseid? Or is he a combination of both? He'd be closer to Lex Luthor than Darkseid. Darkseid, he would have to be like way up there to be on Darkseid's level. But I would say he's a Lex Luthor kind of guy. I mean, I could see that being more possible. Can you name any Tsunderes politically unbiased news sources for me to subscribe to? If I have to keep up with current events, I might as well go for a source without any political leanings. I don't know of any, but that's going to be really hard. Considering that, you're going to find people that are going to lean one side or the other more than likely. I mean, there might be centrist sites out there, but I don't know of any specifically. But, I mean, the best thing to do is to look at the ones that are telling you the truth. The ones that have actual evidence to back up what they say, to prove the truth to you. And that's something you gotta look through, really. I mean, you just gotta look around, find what you can. I mean, that's kind of the best way to do it. You gotta look for the good stuff. I mean, that's really what you gotta do. Yeah, good questions, man. Assault Shaker asks, "Hey, Nick, here are some of my questions. Who will win in a battle, Kirby or Galactus?" Okay, so it depends. If Galactus is starving, then Kirby wins. If Galactus is full, Kirby's done. Like, I'm just going to tell you. Kirby won't win to a full Galactus. Galactus will beat Kirby then. Which Mastodon song is better, the Tsar or the Last Baron? If you have to choose one over the other songs, why? I really don't know. I haven't listened to Mastodon, so, I actually don't know. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I could listen to them to check and see, but I've never actually listened to them. So, I I couldn't give you the answer to that one. Not right now, at least. Do you recommend the Marvel anime series Detroit Metal City, Moribito Guardian of the Spirit, Natsume's Book of Friends, Hinomaru Sumo, Gantz, Planetes, Bakano, and Hakadol, the animation for Weeblet. Bakano is really good. Guardian of the Spirit, I've watched it. Now, Guardian of the Spirit can be a little bit boring for a little bit of it. Like, I'd say, like, the beginning, but then it really starts to ramp up towards the middle. What is it? Detroit Metal City, I've never seen. So, couldn't tell you about that one. Natsume's Book of Friends can be pretty good. So, you know, if you want to check that one out, go for it. Hinomaru Sumo is alright. It's not too bad. You might like that one. Gantz, I have not seen yet. And Planetes, I have not seen either. So I couldn't tell you about those. Hackadol, the animation, I haven't watched that as well. So I couldn't tell you. But Bakano is extremely good. I would highly recommend that one the most out of all of them there on that list. Because, like, I've seen it. Very, very good series. Also, would you recommend Ultimate Muscle, Want to Be the Strongest in the World, and Tiger Mask series for Weeblet and someone who appreciates wrestling? Ultimate Muscle is really good. I really like Ultimate Muscle. Also, if you want a good action series, and this is a really good one, Tiger and Bunny, watch that series. That series is a must. The series is just, oh, it's beautiful. And can Popeye beat the Grim? Easily. He could beat him without the spinach. He could beat them without the spinach. And if he went with the spinach, it'd be like a Super Saiyan versus a Cyberman. It'd destroy him. But anyways, I want to thank you all for all the questions. I love them as always. And I hope you all enjoyed me answering them. And, you know, I want to thank you all for 2 years so far of this Q&A. And, you know, I hope we have many more to go. Because, you know, it's always fun doing this. If there's any questions I missed, let me know down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.